Okay, well, it's definitely been a long day here, and I did want to. I just wrapped up two videos that I do have to edit and put together. So I'm absolutely exhausted. I got my son over here, Elijah, and my 2 month old sleeping upstairs, and I managed to record a video featuring Elijah. Of course, he wanted to be in it. No reason not to. Um, so anyway, what I wanted to do was make a quick response to one of my subscribers. Um, I think, at least I think I think they were one of subscribers, but they left a comment on my Q&A video, and I'm also again I want to make an announcement that I am doing a Q&A. So if you ever have questions for me, questions, recommendations, suggestions, anything like that, you can go right ahead and go to my YouTube channel. Just stick it right, just post a comment, write it right up there, or you can even send me a private message. That's fine with me. Like I said, and any comments you want to make, anything you want to ask, or any suggestions you have, for me, go ahead. Excuse the mess. Like I said, I've been alone all day with two boys. It's hell on earth. To tell you the truth, it's hell on earth. I mean, I love them. Oh, they're my boys. They're my pride and joy. But it's rough. Elijah's 4, and his brother's 2 months. It's a hell of an age gap. So anyway, now I'm gabbing. So okay, what I said was I'm glad Brock Lesnar's gone from the sport because I don't think he was ever good for it in the first place. What happened was he won one mixed martial arts fight. Dana White takes him from the WWE, brings him in the UFC, puts him against a veteran, two-time heavyweight champion in Frank Mir, and he ends up getting knee barred in the first round. I mean, that's what happens. So, of course, he wants the revenge. He ends up fighting Heath Herring in the middle of all this. He landed a right hand. And, here's the thing with Brock Lesnar. He's such a big man. His pec is, two of my heads is one of his pecs. Excuse me. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So I mean, he did topple Heath Herring, but the name of his game was wrestling. Yes, he did beat Randy Couture, but it's not like he beat him down. It wasn't hammer fist from hell. It wasn't a complete just flat face knockout. Wasn't pulling off any taekwondo moves or capoeira kicks. He wasn't pulling off anything spectacular. Anything spectacular about him was simply his size and strength. The size and strength advantage that this guy enjoyed in almost everyone in the UFC, including the heavyweights. The guy had to cut weight to make 265, and this is sheer muscle. His back, I mean, probably couldn't fit in this camera frame. So. Actually, it definitely couldn't fit in this camera frame. I have a huge back. I have, I'm a fairly big guy. This guy is probably literally 3 or 4 times my size, 3 or 4 of me, and big guy. So I walk around about 181, 184. So, he had to cut weight. He was up there at like 290 or something like that. He had to cut like 35 pounds to even make heavyweight. So Brock Lesnar relied a lot on that, the brute, the muscle, the wrestling, the takedowns, holding them there, and then hammer fisting or punching them out and getting them against a fence and putting all that muscle and all those years of wrestling experience against his opponent and just pummeling them. What he didn't count on is facing a striker. He fought a striker first in Shane Carwin, and I thought that fight was going to be over. And Brock's lucky that fight did not get stopped in the first round. I could definitely see, listen, if that fight would have gotten stopped, Lesnar versus Carwin, had that fight would have gotten stopped in the first round, TKO, no one would have complained. It would have been a just stoppage because Carwin was beating the shit out of him. Came Velasquez, the next guy up, learned from it. Training out of AKA, excellent striker, came in and lit Brock Lesnar up. There's even a funny video on YouTube. He clocks him and Brock Lesnar spinning around the octagon, twirling around it. There's even a video on YouTube about there's dancing queens Queen playing in the background, and there's just like a disco, and it's just Brock Lesnar rolling around. I mean, it was hilarious. It was truly hilarious. Anyway, Brock Lesnar he was stunning because he was big. It was just cool to watch this big guy. But look, in the end, the guy didn't like being hit. He was the highest paid UFC fighter. He was making $3 to $5 million per fight. Okay, he was the biggest pay-per-view draw in UFC history at the time. He was wearing UFC gold, which is what every guy in mixed martial arts, in Dream, in Strikeforce, in the WEC. Excuse me. See, the Dream, Pride, the UFC, the WEC, Strikeforce, all these Shark Fights, IFL, all these organizations, World Series of Fighting. Everyone's in it for the belt. What happened to Brock Lesnar? He got in there, lost his first fight. Won a fight against Heath Herring, and then went in there, took his belt, wins a strap at UFC 100 against Frank Mir, defends it against Randy Couture, and luckily defended it against Shane Carwin. Shane Carwin gassed himself out, bombarding Brock with punches. I'm surprised that the ref didn't stop the fight in the first round, but he didn't. So it's fair to say that, yeah, he did win the fight. For sure. But what happened, what follows is why I don't like him as a mixed martial artist. He had more money than anyone in the game. He had more fame than anyone in the game. He had more pay-per-view draws than anyone in the game. He had what every fighter and what every mixed martial artist, from the day that they get the idea in their head, this is what I want to do for a living, to the day that they might actually make it to the UFC. The UFC is the Super Bowl of mixed martial arts. So the day they make it to that cage, they hope to wear that tin. They hope to wear that fucking gold tin. They hope they do this. How many times have you seen this after a win? This means belt, man. This means give me my belt. I'm ready for a belt. I'm ready for a title shot. Good luck to Nate Diaz, by the way, on the 6th against Benson Henderson. Anyway, they want that belt. Brock Lesnar had the belt. He had the money. He had more money than anybody, more pay-per-views than anybody, and all of a sudden he gets hit and decides that he doesn't like getting hit. Cain Velasquez beat him down, cut his cheek up pretty bad, and his next fight was against Alistair Overeem. Of course he's going to get hit in the Alistair Overeem fight. He got kneed in the solar plexus and decided right then and there, I'm going to retire. He said it felt like I got kicked by a goddamn horse. And he didn't want to do it. So what he did was left a legion of fans, a pile of cash, pay-per-view, the business, the business suffered, UFC suffered, mixed martial arts suffered. A lot of people stopped watching because he had a legion of fans, loyal fans, and he didn't care. It didn't matter to him. To me, that's not a mixed martial artist, and that's certainly not a champion. That's the point that I was trying to convey and get across. So, SA18, please don't get too upset. That's just truly what I mean. That's not a champion. That's not a mixed martial artist, and that's certainly not someone that I feel deserves to be in the sport. And he is where he belongs, in the WWE, where everything's set up fake, and he's making 10 times more than guys that are out there doing it for real. So yeah, if you took it the wrong way, I do apologize. It wasn't meant to be a bad thing. But I just don't like the guy. The immediate response to that video or to that comment was it says, "Roids don't teach you how to knee and kick. You can't become a K1 champion taking roids." I love how people blame Overeem for taking roids, even comparing him with guys like Lesnar. Do you think that Lesnar is just a big genetically gifted guy? Give me a break. No one knows, and no one cares, because he's in a place right now where you can take steroids. It doesn't matter. All those guys, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. How you doing, Elijah? You want to say hi, YouTube?
Hi, YouTube.
He's in a place right now where, it's safe to say they probably don't test for steroids. Why would you? It doesn't matter. The fights are fixed anyway. They're not fights. They're just simply wrestling matches, and Brock Lesnar's happy there, and so am I. So I'm glad to see him go. Sayonara, Brock.